And we are back to the We Promising Nothing Awards, the Nothinging Awards. That's right. This is JPar, and we're going to continue our conversation handing out the Nothingy Awards. And of course, we still have Myles, Clayton, and Dabu on deck. Alright, next category, biggest surprise. I'm going to say Logan. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. Fox is pretty good at dropping the ball with these X-Men movies, and I thought, it's like, there's no way they're going to make me as happy as they did with a Deadpool movie, but they actually did make me pretty happy with that movie, so I will say I was surprised with Logan.
So you're saying the movie?
Yeah.
The entire movie was a surprise?
Right.
Okay.
Well, I was also surprised they didn't use more from the comics, but
I'm gonna
what I mean.
But it's such a good comic book adaptation.
I'm gonna go the other way actually with this. I'm surprised that this is awesome.
You're surprised something sucks?
I am surprised that The Last Jedi was such a steaming pile of shit for me.
So
and
a negative
I
surprise.
fucking hated it. I went into that movie, I didn't watch any trailers. I tried to distance myself from it so that I could be surprised. That I could generally be surprised about the movie. But 5 minutes in, when Huck starts cracking jokes, phone jokes, and yo mama jokes too, Poe starts cracking them to Huck's, the unfortunate subplot of Rose and Finn, the misuse of Leia, the death scene, and I don't even care about the shit like Rey's parents being nobody. I don't give a fuck about that. I care about crappy plot lines, terrible character motivations, Leia Supermaning her way back into the ship, the shitty humor that they tried to squeeze into every fucking frame. I've never been so crushed by a movie.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be awesome. I legitimately wanted it to be awesome. And I know the internet is already on fire over this and it's burning itself to the ground. But I just don't care. My gripes about that movie are legitimate. And I'm just disappointed. I have no steam going into part 9. I honestly don't care.
But Clayton, can you tell us how you really feel?
I'm
just kidding. We don't.
See, what's funny is...
Oh my god, Rose. I could write a book on why I hate that movie.
Enough. Dabu.
I feel like all of that could have been easily summarized by Myles' favorite way of describing things. Anyway, my favorite surprise, I'm going to be more specific because I feel like
biggest surprise. My favorite surprise. He didn't pick his favorite surprise.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is what shocked me in any fashion was the opening scene, or I should say one of the first scenes in It. When we knew going into this movie, that's why I wanted to think outside the box for this.
Sure.
It, for me, was that one of those kind of movies where I felt like, okay, I hadn't read the novels yet, so I'm already at a disadvantage. I've only seen snippets of the original, so even more so at a disadvantage. But I knew what I was expecting out of that first scene when poor Georgie, is chasing after his little sailboat, down the drain. That whole moment, we knew what to expect. What I got shocked about was just how they took it up a notch. It was just that much more brutal of a death scene for the poor kid.
Yeah.
And even to this moment, you want to talk about shivers? That kind of scene gave me shivers. And horror movies don't do anything for me anymore. Yeah. Not to that extent. So when they were able to get me to get shocked so quickly at the beginning of that movie, and then the rest of the movie was just a matter of trying to keep that pace going, which is a different topic for another time.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that scene did
so
such
that
a
scene
great
is your
surprise.
biggest surprise.
Yeah, that particular scene.
Georgie scene in It.
Yes.
Okay, Myles.
That is a really good pick because honestly, that set the pace for the rest of the movie. I didn't know what I was getting going in because, like you, I didn't read the book. I've seen snippets. What is this movie? Why is everyone talking about it? You actually said my biggest surprise in your rant, Rey's lineage. Now, I know you said that you did not give a fuck, quote unquote, but I did. Force Awakens.
I definitely
When
did.
I say I don't give a fuck, it's not that I don't care. It's just that I'm like, okay, they're setting it up, whatever. It's the that's not the problem. It was the plot points and the terribly written story.
Force Awakens had 3 underlying plots. Where's Luke, Rey's lineage, and some other shit.
Who is Snoke?
And who is Snoke, thank you. And this movie gave us one answer and really shit on our lives for the other 2.
And snipped the cord for
Yeah,
the other 2.
So I was really, really
Skywalker
disappointed.
Saga? Huh?
It was just a conversation between 2 people. Oh, yeah, your parents, they're dead, they're junkies. Next question. Wait, what? What? Oh, that was the biggest shit on J.J. Abrams moment if I ever seen it.
I know.
And
it's terrible.
Why? Why did you do that? Give us anything but that.
I
It was
know.
so
That's like one of those
underwhelming.
moments like, oh, I'll throw them a curveball, and it's nothing. Anything would have been
It was
better
like
than
we were
nothing.
falling out of a plane for the last 2 years, okay?
Yeah.
And we had this backpack on our back that thought would save our lives, filled with Ray's parents' lineage.
Yeah.
You open it up, pots and pans came out, like out of a cartoon. You're like, well, fuck! And then you hit the ground.
It's just a huge middle finger. It's the
It
same
was.
in Alien
It really
Covenant
was.
when David drops the black bombs on the engineer's
don't get me
planet.
started.
All the questions you asked from Prometheus, fuck you. Like, why do they do that?
All right,
Why
so
do they
can we
do
agree?
Who are you?
that? Yeah.
Can we agree that the biggest surprise is Last Jedi not being good?
I would wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
What about you, Miles?
Yeah.
Or how about Last Jedi not meeting expectations?
Yeah.
Yes.
That can be a
In
genuine...
a nutshell, yeah, that
Yeah.
is what it was.
I think we all felt that.
Like, everybody's going to have expectations for that movie, but to have it just spiral so badly out of control...
Nothing else needs to be
That's
said.
exactly it.
You
Just
said it
leave
all.
it there.
You honestly said it all. You even
Yeah.
said mine, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one, best movie scene.
Yeah, let's get
Okay.
into some good stuff here.
Yeah.
We got a little negative.
I'm gonna mention a few nominations.
Who are you, JPar?
Quiet.
You're off the rails tonight.
Okay, here's the scenes that I enjoyed in the year of 2017. Dunkirk, I really did enjoy this movie. You thought it was slow.
Somebody
I
had
thought
to
it was
enjoy it.
tense and awesome. Dabu also really liked this movie.
Yep.
One of the scenes I enjoyed is the Tom Hardy's running out of gas and he's just spending too much time saving people. And he's just always trying to separate his time from that. And him coming behind that one German plane, there's just the way they lined the shot up with the plane. I got excited. I needed that after the disappointment of Last Jedi. I needed a hero again. And he kind of filled this void temporarily for that one day when I watched Dunkirk. And that was an awesome scene. So when he lines up and he saves those people, and he's running out of gas, and he just keeps
They make
saving
that quite
people.
clear. It was,
Yeah.
A lot of the movie was running out of gas.
I
Pulls at
would've
your heartstrings,
I
man.
would've
Or at least it
enjoyed
should,
that movie.
unless you're heartless.
I would have enjoyed that movie a lot more if they would have done a
Myles.
better job explaining the
Where the
time
gas
compression. Well, the time compression.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
the story of Tom Hardy's squadron in the planes takes place over 1 hour. The story of the boat takes place over 1 day, and the story of the beach takes place over a week.
Yeah, that
But
wasn't really
they-
explained. It
they
seemed like
jump
it was going to
around
be a
a lot.
cool
They do
thing.
jump around
You
a
see
bit, yeah.
it,
And then
it
it
did-
never played out right.
Well, it takes a couple of times before you realize that you're watching the same scene from different
from
angles.
different points of view.
So it kind of messed me up.
I didn't like that.
I enjoed that movie.
Sorry, I was
ahead.
just going to agree.
Go ahead.
Simply said you have to see that movie more than once to fully
I
appreciate it.
don't want to waste my time.
Oh god. All right, another scene.
Please.
Michael Keaton talking to Peter Parker.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
God.
he's bringing his dates to the prom, he's basically, listen, you little shit. I know who you are. I'm not gonna fuck you up right now, but you could. So show my daughter a good time, and maybe I'll think about not hurting you later, kind of deal. Just Michael Keaton back in like a superhero movie, and seeing him awesome again, loved it. Next one, this was almost the one I wanted to pick as my winner, and I almost do because I kind of know what you guys are going to pick as the winner. But I'm going to say also the opening of Logan. When he starts cutting people up in a bloody mess, you're like, yes! Wolverine finally gets to kick some ass and cut off some limbs. Love that scene. But I think I'm going to finally choose the light speed through the Destroyer in The Last Jedi.
Oh,
That was cool, yeah.
God,
You guys?
a lot of good ones. Well,
I leave it in your hands.
Okay, well, I am going to go... using Last Jedi as my biggest surprise, I kind of switched things around a little bit. But I'm going to echo Dave's scene from the last one. The opening sailboat scene from It.
Oh?
Because it was a scene that it was a scene that I was waiting for. It was a scene that I knew was going to be in the movie, and I was intensely entertained by it. The new Pennywise was just...
It was my favorite scene in the movie.
It was cool. Like, it was... Yeah, just that... It was such a recognizable scene, and it was a scene that everybody was waiting for, but the way they just amped it up. And, I mean, he just clamps down on his arm and rips his arm off. And the kid's laying in the street screaming.
Yeah.
He's trying to crawl away, and then you just see the hand come out from the thing and drag him back into the sewer. And you see the cat sitting there watching. Like, that whole scene was just... And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it seems to be raining a lot harder in that movie than I've ever seen it rain before.
Well,
it's just a
Two
crazy...
Towers.
It's just a crazy,
Singing in the
crazy
rain.
scene. Like, and that set the tone, like you said, for the whole movie. I really like that movie.
If there's one thing I want to add to that, and I admit to that, I agree with you entirely. I just love the fact that I want to tip my hat, so to speak, to the little actor who played Georgie.
Yeah.
His goddamn screaming it still gives me shivers, for crying out loud. Like that scene, I remember literally watching it, and I think my eyes literally got wider.
It was
I'm like,
fucking
holy
intense,
crap,
man.
I really feel like this kid is getting killed here. Holy crap, he's really taking it up. Like it was extended a little longer, right? So yeah, that's a great choice.
They really...
Those are all excellent choices. So what do you say?
It's a hard one. Okay, I'm going to admit, Jay, I had one of them as a possible nomination as the easier one, which I think is probably going to win. Star Wars, the whole,
Lightspeed
through the destroyer. So, or what was it called? No, it wasn't a dreadnought. It was the
No,
It was
ship.
Snoke's, command ship.
command ship. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
And
So
the
that-
fleet around it.
That speaks for itself. I don't need to go into more detail.
Right.
But my scene that I chose was actually one that has little to no effects, but had great, how can I say it, storyboard telling. Because you could tell that the entire original scene, sorry, I'm just going to say it, it was the intro to Baby Driver.
Okay.
When you admitted the music, I think, did it for me. I didn't know what kind of movie it was. The music started, realizing that it was him listening to the music, getting ready to he's revving his engine. He's about to get. You don't know what's going to happen next, but you can tell he's ready. No matter what's going to happen, he's ready for the next step. And then an entire scene of him gunning down the street, evading the cops like they're nothing. Doing all those tricks that he did with driving forward, driving sideways, driving backwards, driving. It's amazing how this kid knew how to handle a vehicle. And no matter what vehicle it was. But that was the first vehicle we saw him drive in.
Yeah.
So that whole scene, that introduction to Baby, I think was fantastic. And I say I choose this one simply because it had little to no effects. There's nothing leaning on it, like, Lightspeed through a dreadnought.
Yep.
That is all effects.
Right.
That had to hit it dead on the nail, otherwise it would have fallen
Right.
flat. This scene with Baby going through as a driver, sorry, that clearly had to be perfect or it would have been completely botched, and it did great.
All right, another scene that's different from the others that were mentioned. Myles.
Logan.
Good
Okay,
choice.
and very specific. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're at a casino. Professor X is having a seizure, and he froze everyone in the casino.
Oh, that was cool.
And
yeah.
only X-23 and Wolverine are able to slowly walk through this telepathic nuclear bomb that's going off. And just watching Wolverine slowly get to all the bad guys, and they can't move. All they can do is slowly move their eyes and just think, I'm fucked. He can move, and he's got claws, and he's looking at me like I'm a piece of shit.
Wow.
And it was just so good because Professor X unleashed. That's basically it. We know he can shut people down, but this is him losing control. And it's such a wild scene. I just love him slowly crawling in the casino, and you see the ripples in the air of the telepathic waves, and he's just killing everyone. Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
That was a cool dynamic too. Just the fact that the seizures were
Yeah.
Grab the key.
You can...
Actually,
Grab the key.
You know what added to me to that scene was how when they leave, he's being carted in the wheelchair. What does he say to everyone? I am so sorry. You right away feel so empathetic of the moment, just as much as it was intense just 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
All right, so we're almost done. We got to get through this a bit quicker, but we got to unlock the judge for this one.
These are all really good ones. I know.
I don't think so. Isn't there... Oh, we have 4 different ones. That's
We
right.
have
It.
Well, you have 3
6.
nominations, but which one would you say was yours out of?
You can't do 3. You got to pick one.
You got to narrow it down to one, man.
I said the Lightspeed through
Oh,
the
that
destroyer.
was it. Okay.
Lightspeed, Baby Driver, It,
sailboat
and Logan.
Wow.
All really
That's
good
a
choices.
fucking-
Holy
All really good
real-
choices.
Best movie scene.
I am going to have to agree with it, the Georgie scene, because I am a huge fan. I briefly read through the books, but I mostly heard about the books from my brother. I watched the original series at least 15,000 billion times. And that was always one of my favorite scenes in the original movie. And then to see it amped up to
Did you
level
see
10,
it?
I seen it.
Ooh.
Yeah. But
We don't promise
it
good
was
jokes.
just amped. It was just It actually shocked me for a story that I knew so well. It still made my jaw hit the floor and go.
It was like taking a shower that was just a little bit too hot, Like you've
know,
taken 1,000 showers before, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" Like
exactly.
there was expectation, but there was payoff too, and it was like,
that's a good
man, how can
Yeah,
enjoy
no,
this?
I have to. I'm gonna have to vote that one for sure.
All right, so there you go. Best movie scene of 2017. We Promise Nothing War. Georgie scene in It.
That's a good choice.
It is
That is a good choice.
It is a good
Thank you
choice.
for
That is
putting
a
that in there.
It was. I loved that scene actually. No, I don't like seeing.
My eyes open up. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
this
and
is
got
where
my
we're going,
attention.
guys.
I'm glad that this is a...
Guys, I hope you saved all your shits because we're about to shit on this next one. The most disappointing movie of 2017. Now, this doesn't mean it's the worst movie of 2017. This is just the one that disappointed us the most. And for it to disappoint us this much, must mean that we were at least excited about it to begin with. So that's why I think you already know the answer. The Last Jedi. Even though I did vote some of the that one scene and the effects as the best of the year, just the notes they hit with the Skywalker saga, Rey's parents not being nothing, Snoke just dead, get rid of him, like everything that
Even
Abrams set
Phasma.
up. Phasma's gone. Everything that Abrams set up, every reason you had to want to see Episode 9, fuck it. Fucking Ryan Johnson showed up and just fucked the Force in the a-hole, and that is my disappointing movie of
I get the idea that his idea of directing is just turning the camera on and then just letting it do
To see what
whatever.
happens.
Let it happen.
Okay, I tried to really divvy my stuff up. We all know that Star Wars was a fucking colossal piece of shit.
It's probably the freshest one on our minds because it ended the year.
But
with
there's
Goddamn.
one actually that it's a bigger disappointment for me because I was actually legitimately excited for it. Like I was really hyped for it.
I think I know which one.
Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets. I really wanted that to be good
I even
because
tried to tell you not to
That
go.
shouldn't
like-
even have hype behind it.
I like no, but it doesn't.
do.
It's if you're into that kind of show though, like it was Luc Besson. He had a
Fifth
good
Element.
cast. He had a good cast of people. There was a lot of goodwill going into that movie, and it looked like there. You got your Star Treks and you got your Star Wars in Hollywood today. And every once in a while somebody puts out an alien movie, but this looked like something.
We tried to warn you, man.
This looked
We
like
did.
something that was going to be really actually interesting and different. And I'm a big fan of heavy metal. I like those type of Franco graphic novel comics. And this was just a colossal letdown for me because I'm not interested in seeing a sequel if they ever decided to fucking make one, which I don't think is going to happen. But yeah, so I'm going to throw that in there.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one there, Clay. Because
Oh, yeah?
that was my least, the most disappointing movie.
Yeah.
I will admit, it would have been too easy just to throw Last Jedi in there because it is the freshest one on our minds. It's the one that we've clearly got an entire breakdown list of what they fucked up, or I should say what the director fucked up. But what I really got disappointed with Valerian, even though you guys wanted to warn us, see, Clay and I, we would wanted to... Like, in terms of a science fiction experience, there's certain elements out of a certain storytelling of a sci-fi movie that looks great on film, but when you really think about it, it does not do well for story.
So that's also your nomination?
That was mine, was Valerian. And it's not to say that the movie, visually speaking, was beautiful.
Yeah.
It had a lot of great potential. But by the time the end of the movie was about to come, all these characters I still didn't care about.
Yeah. It just...
And I'm going to blame it on one thing, the casting, because I felt like if they would have maybe recasted these characters, maybe it would have turned out to be a completely different movie. I don't know.
It was Valerian himself.
Well,
that was the worst.
I couldn't take him seriously.
Yeah.
Like, even his counterpart, I forget her name, that she was
Beverly
more
Hills.
interesting than him.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, Valerian was my most disappointing movie.
Miles.
Alien Covenant.
Ooh, that was quick.
That was such a shitty movie. It was boring. It had nothing going for it. The action sucked. They started off the movie by killing off the best part of the Prometheus movie was, who are the builders?
Yeah.
They made you ask this big question. That was the reason why they're exploring who started the human race. And they finally found the people, or one of them anyways, and that's where they left you. Okay, Alien Covenant. Let's see who these builders are. Just kidding. We're going to kill them all in the first fucking 10 seconds. And then where does the movie go from there? I'll tell you, in the fucking toilet. That movie was so shitty. It honestly, I feel like Michael Fassbender, that was the beginning of the end of his career. Because ever since then, I haven't seen him in a good movie. He did Assassin's Creed. He did The Snowman. And it was just, what is happening, Hollywood?
They pulled that bullshit.
How did that get
more than one time
greenlit
in that movie, though?
How did it get greenlit? There was a little white alien running around at some point. I'm like, am I supposed to be like scared, or are they trying to build tension by having two androids kiss? I'm like, what is going on?
They did like
I hate the movie.
they did that in a
I
couple
hate
places
everything.
in that movie though. They
James
gave,
Franco was in the movie for like
For
5
5
seconds. Like, what is
You don't
going
want to see
on here?
Fassbender kiss himself?
No, it was
Oh.
stupid. It honestly,
It's not gay,
the
it's
movie
masturbation.
was bad. No, it wasn't
yeah.
masturbation.
The hero of Prometheus too. The doctor, the woman there. I can't remember her name off the top of my head though. They give her an off-screen death despite
Yes.
all of the stuff that she survived.
Exactly.
In the first one, like
They totally shit on the first movie, and the first movie, as it wasn't the best, but at least the world building.
it was going somewhere.
Yeah, it was going somewhere, and I was actually excited for Alien Covenant. And then I watched the movie, and I really hope it ends there. Please, please don't make any more.
There'll be one more at
there's-
least.
I know they make it like sequel-y at the end, but I don't want any more.
Just make the connection to LV-426 and fuck off. Like,
Yeah, make him die off screen. Fuck you, Michael Fassbender. I'm done with you. Go kiss yourself in the mirror at home, you piece of shit.
Okay, well, I think they decided Valerian.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't watch Alien Covenant. They're lucky.
I did. I watched it. Believe me. I was a glutton for punishment this year. I saw some shitty movies.
Speaking of
Anyways. Moving on. Let's get to the best movie or TV actor or actress.
Oh, what about most disappointing series? TV series.
Oh, that wasn't in there.
I didn't see
Nope.
that.
That was in there.
No, it's just most disappointing movie. That was it.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Changing the game.
Did you
Myles.
really want to talk about your most disappointing?
What
I
is the
did.
most? What was the most disappointing for you? Just
Well,
quickly mention.
Okay, for me it was the Defenders.
Oh, yeah.
Marvel
Yeah.
series.
Crap.
You have 4
You're
series.
gonna have no
that
one who
came together.
disagrees with you on
Yeah.
that.
It was kind of like the Avengers of the TV series.
But it should have been.
But
It should have
it
been
was
cool and gritty, but it
horrible.
wasn't.
Okay, you win that one. Defenders
Yeah, you
is the
win.
worst TV
You
show
win.
of this
Okay,
year.
there
Best movie or TV actor or actress.
So
Okay.
how many do you have for this one?
I had
5 or
a
6?
hard time choosing for this because last year I felt like I had a lot more like good actors to choose out of. I feel like acting was a little scarce this year. I wanted to give it to Mark Hamill as playing the Haunted Jedi, but after him drinking that milk and milking the alien, I don't
what
think
the
I can. So it's just and him throwing it's not his fault. It's Ryan Johnson's fault. So I can't blame Mark Hamill for it, but I did like what he did bring to the table because he did bring a little bit of credibility to that movie. But I'm actually going to say maybe Kit Harington instead. He's been doing a good job on Game of Thrones. Thought it was an easy choice to make, and once again watching him interact with Daenerys and seeing how his lineage and everything's playing out has been interesting. So
I have to admit, even though his character tends to be very vague in a lot of ways, he's developed into
shows
quite
emotion.
an interesting character.
He's good at
throughout
showing
the whole series.
emotion, and you know what he's thinking when you see him, but not really like it doesn't really like they don't like flat out tell you, but you can tell, right?
He's what I call one of my favorite types of heroes, which is an anti-hero. He doesn't want to be the center of attention, yet everything seems to come in his direction, so he just rolls with the punches and just deals with it, right?
I just wish he whispered a lot less. You know?
You and your whispers, you really got a problem with that.
I
don't you?
do. I'm noticing it more and more lately in all these shows. People are just whispering.
Emote.
Yeah, I don't know. You can emote with voice,
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
All right, so do you got something better then, Myles?
Well, no, we'll go around.
No, you're gonna be last. Hey, no, go
Yeah,
down.
no, I'd be last. Instead.
Okay,
It's a surprise.
Like you said, it didn't seem like there was a lot of standout performances by one single actor this year.
Yeah.
So I kind of went out of the wheelhouse for mine, and I picked 3 because it's best actor, actress, whatever. But I pick for voice acting, Taika Waititi doing Korg from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Okay.
I was intensely entertained by that character. Knew nothing about him, and he drove the rest of that.
But
movie
that's a
for me.
comedic and a voice acting.
It is. But it was the most entertaining voice acting for. I'm going to go with an actress though. Emily Beecham as the widow from Into the Badlands is a kick-ass character, and she's an awesome actor.
Is that from last?
No, that's on. They just greenlit the 3rd season. Actually.
Okay, so this is from the most
Yeah.
recent season you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Pamela Raby as Joan Ferguson from Wentworth. That show, if you guys probably haven't watched it. I know Kathy's watched it. She is an incredible actress. I mean, she's not super good looking or good looking at all, but her talent lies in her acting skill. I'm telling you, she comes into the show in the second season and plays the warden of the prison, and she is, as the show goes on, she unravels herself as a complete fucking psycho, and she does a fucking good job of it. And then afterwards, she ends up actually in the prison as an inmate, and then after that as a murderer.
Isn't that New Zealand prison show?
Yes. Yeah. It is really, really good. If you heard anything about Orange is the New Black, don't even put them in the same league because that show's garbage. Wentworth's amazing.
Dabu.
Ooh. All right. Well, I'm going to keep it simple and stick to one because I think the way I was trying to envision my favorite actor due to performance and everything that he brought to the table, and it could have been a she too, but for me, you mentioned it earlier, which was Professor X from Logan. Sir Patrick Stewart. Please don't tell me you chose that too.
I'm not going to tell you that.
Oh, okay. But anyway.
That's who he chose.
Damn it. Shit. I beat you to it. But the point is that I think it speaks for itself for me anyhow because of
that's actually a
that
better choice than
intensity.
mine.
Actually, and I think you hit it dead on the nail when you just told us the entire scene of him going through a seizure of sorts, So that in itself was a great explanation as to why I think his overall performance throughout the entire film sold it to me. That was a whole other level of Professor X that I didn't expect. I knew he was considered in the back of my mind because I'm not a comic book fan wholeheartly because I don't buy the comics. I will read them and watch the shows and everything else and talk about it, but I've never been a collector of them, so I can't say I'm hitting the dead on the nail of all the details.
All right,
but Professor X is simply said a powerful mutant. You don't know how powerful he is until you actually see what happens when he loses control.
I totally forgot about the performances in Logan. So,
and I have to admit, there's something to be said about Sir Patrick Stewart cursing. Yeah. It's so out of left field. It fit perfectly. So.
And that's how they start the movie, too. They start off with him. He's got dementia. He doesn't quite know who people are, but he can read their minds and figure out who they are. And like you said, once he starts swearing and you get this new Professor X, oh my. Because he's always been Jean-Luc Picard for me.
Very prim and proper.
Star Trek, yeah, very prim, very proper, theater trained. And seeing his performance in this movie it was heartbreaking a few times because he kind of reminds me of my grandpa a lot of the times. His physical appearance, and I'm close to my grandpa, so when I'm watching him on screen and he's slowly fading away and he's doing such a good job of just he's losing a battle throughout the whole movie, and it's just so heartbreaking to see it.
So are you guys stroking fucking Professor Xavier, or are you stroking Patrick Stewart? Because it's supposed to be best actor or actress, not best character.
Patrick Stewart played Professor Xavier, so
actually, you know
guess
what?
Who's I'm stroking?
I agree with them. Like even it
doesn't matter with
even if you did.
Anyways. I know it's true, but you guys actually had a better choice than me. I would say.
You fucking did it.
We made a difference.
We did it. We did it, Sir Stewart. We did it.
This one's for you, Patrick.
Peace, dude.
He lets me call him
that.
You my boy.
Peace, dude?
No, I call him Patrick because I'm.
You don't call him. What's your name? Yes.
My Y man.
We're all grey.
Hot. That's a throwback, folks. Finally, the last category of the night. Best movie of 2017.
The big one.
I feel like it's going to be a slight consensus. I feel it.
Do you think
so?
It's in the area.
I'm going to let Clayton take this one away.
Whoa!
Yeah?
You're just changing all the rules. 5 nominations. I agree with you now.
Let's
Clayton,
get nuts.
go. Fuck it.
You want to get nuts?
Cats living with dogs.
Let's get nuts. All right, Clayton.
Okay, my choice, and I'm going to try to keep it simple, is It. This movie, I was hyped for it. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see them do a good job. Skarsgård delivered in the Pennywise department. The effects were good. They took all They had good actors. They had good kid actors, which is like really hard to come by.
Yep.
They put in all of the most important scenes, and yet they amped them right up, so they were recognizable. But it was like I said, it's that shower that you take that's a little bit too hot, and you know what I mean? Like it's just, oh my god, this is cool.
If you keep using it, it doesn't make it a real analogy.
It's cool. It was just cool to watch though, because I got to see all these scenes that I knew was coming, but they delivered them in a new, interesting, better, bigger, badder way, and I'm stoked. I'm totally stoked for the second one.
Stoked for it. All
this
right.
is my favorite movie 2017.
All right, Dabo.
I will admit, it was on my list for best movies. I had to really scrutinize the details. I think when I think of all the movies I had seen and when I left the theaters and such, the only one that I felt thoroughly satisfied was
Thoroughly?
Thoroughly.
Is
no.
that
not
foreshadowing?
Not
Oh, okay.
I was just I enjoyed Logan. Logan was another one of those where it was a different type of movie on so many different levels. It was, it was both action. It had a lot of emotion, clearly, especially where we just talked about, Sir Patrick Stewart's performance as Professor X. Actually, you made a great comment about finding really good kid actors. Mm-hmm. Logan had some great ones. They didn't have to be absolutely mind-blowing in performance,
at least
but
one
they had
good
to sell
actor.
the character.
Yeah.
And every single one of the kids in this movie actually did their job.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I don't care about soundtracks sometimes when it comes to movies, and this shows to me that I didn't need music to enjoy a movie. Logan had very little of it. So I think it hit at everything on the right nail. I think the problem I had with it was that there were so many lulls in between, which were needed, because it was going to ramp up the intensity at a later time. They needed to kind of create that roller coaster effect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you got intensity all the way, it's not the same thing. Right?
It's Dunkirk.
Logan, or any war movie. But Logan was just a great story. It was great acting. It was great everything. So sorry for Logan for me.
You should say sorry, because that was my goddamn pick, you son of a bitch.
Beat you again.
That movie, no word of a lie, I cried twice. And I don't want to tell you when, because that's a major spoiler, but maybe you guys already seen it and know what happened. But
Logan, not it.
The death scenes in the movie, and just seeing the deterioration of Professor X throughout the whole movie was just heartbreaking. The story was just so... it was so sad, and it just sucked the emotion out of you. But I loved it. Honestly, I haven't had that much feeling for a movie in a very long time. Right. Like you said, it's kind of like It for you guys with horror. Horror doesn't do anything for you. It revigorated that. This, to me, was like a whole new comic book movie. And like Deadpool was
it's not
its
a
own
perfect comic book adaptation, though.
It's not a perfect comic book adaptation, but you know what? As a movie, as a comic book movie, it was fucking amazing. So Logan,
even if we take the words comic book out, it's still
take it out. Yeah,
it's an awesome movie.
It's still an awesome movie. You don't have
Yes.
to know anything about Wolverine or Xavier to enjoy that movie. It's a one shot and it's great. I wasn't gonna say Logan, but Deadpool won last year, so this kind of matches because Logan looks like to be the winner. But I actually was gonna say Dunkirk. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was just something I didn't expect to really like it. I'm not really a fan of war movies. I enjoyed the intensity that's from the beginning of the movie all the way to the end. You feel the struggle and the strife of these people trying to get the hell out of Dunkirk, and they just can't. They get fucked over every chance they can, and I just feel like it's this constant intensity that just keeps building. Something I didn't expect to enjoy. I really enjoyed it, and I just thought too many superhero movies, so I wanted to vote something different as my best movie for the year. But nonetheless, you guys have decided that Logan is the We Promising Nothing Award Movie of the Year, joining its partner last year, Deadpool.
fuck yeah.
I will admit, Dunkirk was on my top 5 favorites of the year, but it was another one of those movies, kind of like what I said about it, how with all the lulls in between, it wasn't so much lulls. Dunkirk had the slow build effect. You needed
Which
that.
I actually
slow
enjoyed
climax
it
build.
because
Well,
you
that's why
felt
it's
the
enjoyable.
build-up of the war and just shit was gonna go wrong and you knew it.
Yeah, and you knew it was going to happen at any time.
Gosh. Oh, where's the nearest gas?
No, he doesn't sound like Bane.
Oh
in the
no,
movie.
Bane in a plane.
Bane in a
These
tank.
motherfucking Banes on these
You have
motherfucking
been waiting to
I've been
say
waiting all
that.
fucking night.
Bane in
Bane on
a
a
plane.
I got to say it.
Oh
Shit.
my god.
You made a great comment about how last year Deadpool won, and if Logan was to be our winner this year, as it seems, does that not
Looks
explain
like
why we need
R-rated
comic
Marvel
books?
movies, yeah.
because I mean we got enough R-rated movies in general, but R-rated comic book movies takes the intensity to a whole new level, and it gives them full freedom to do what they need to do to tell a good story.
Like for instance, I like Watchmen.
Yeah, I love
liked it
Watchmen
too.
too.
I like Watchmen.
I even watched the director's cut, 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much blue
And I
bell
also
for my
liked
liking,
it.
but that's all right.
All right, so
That's
let's outrun it down for you folks. Tonight we handed out a few Nothing awards. For most intense TV moment was the frozen lake scene in Game of Thrones. Most interesting TV character, Jon Snow. Best TV series, Game of Thrones. Catch up, Clayton. Best comic adaptation was Logan. Suck it, Myles. Best use of music.
It won later on.
Blade Runner 29. Suck it, Jay. Best use of effects. You're gonna have to listen to our clip to find that one out. Best franchise. Marvel takes it this year just because Star Wars disappointed us. Biggest surprise. Last Jedi not meeting expectations. Best movie scene. The Georgie scene in It. Most disappointing movie. These nerds said Valerian.
Fuck yeah. Well, you know.
Best movie, TV actor, actress, Patrick Stewart takes it away in his performance in Logan. And best movie is Logan.
Valerian. You lose some, you lose some.
It's a lose-lose battle.
All right, so any other final comments before we close out this show?
Any one of these movies is probably worth watching. Anything that we mentioned tonight is all, not everything can win, but it's all top shelf entertainment, and it's all worth watching. Except for the most disappointing stuff.
I just want to admit that, and I think it's quite clear, we are big fans of comic book movies, but only because that's a very common denomination, I think, as of late. And they seem to be telling a lot of the best stories in movie format. So, you know, for those of you out there who are probably not as much of a comic book fan as some of us
Watch
might be,
Logan at least.
At least, yeah. But understand this: there are a lot of other movies that probably deserve nominations of their own kind. We're just based on our own tastes. These are the movies that we really enjoyed this year. So we'd love to hear some comments from other of you that have other movies you think we should have put on these lists.
That's right, folks. Myles.
I cannot endorse Dunkirk. I am sorry.
It didn't win, so don't worry about it.
Thank God, because that movie became what I like to call a laundry movie.
Oh,
Do you have laundry to do? Oh, Dunkirk's on.
And it's
Laundry
too
time.
bad you didn't enjoy it. I really
felt
enjoyed
it consistently did
I
not
was
reward
bored.
me for paying
I
close
wasn't
attention
bored.
to
I
it.
felt the intensity all the way through.
And when they did the time-lapse scene,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, this is getting interesting, but it didn't pay off. It kind of, I got confused. I didn't know where things were happening anymore.
Yeah.
Like you said, a 1 hour here, a 1 day over there.
All right, unlock the judge for final comments. Final comments.
That was a door opener.
Someone just stepped on a gremlin.
Yeah, no, like 2017 was an interesting year for movies, just because it wasn't
A lot of meh movies.
a lot of mad movies. Yeah, like it was just
Underwhelming?
Yeah, it was a very underwhelming. I had
A very
actually
underwhelming
a hard
year for
time
movies.
actually picking the movies and the categories and everything, as I really had to think about it. Nothing was really standing out to me. Mostly,
What was your favorite movie of the year?
my favorite movie of the year
Yeah.
probably has to be. I don't know. See, that I had a problem with that.
Good
as
thing
well.
we didn't have to ask you on that one.
Yeah, no, but I would have like chose one of yours. You know what I mean? But
You would have chosen mine?
personal-
Aw, thanks.
No, I think Logan probably
Yeah.
was my
and it
was
did
the
win.
best movie of the year.
All right, everyone thank Kathy for her judging skills today.
Yay!
Thank you,
You're
Kathy.
welcome. You're welcome.
All right, and if you want to follow the conversation, you can do so. We promise nothing. Drop the G. Follow us on Twitter. And if you want to give us a big old like on Facebook, we like when you do that. Always subscribe to these videos here on YouTube. If you disagree with what we said here today, then you can leave a comment below. But as always, we promise nothing. Good night.